Hello, thanks for joining us for our weekly film show. On today's programme, a drug-infected superhuman Scarlett Johansson, a spectacular car chase through Paris mixed with a bit of science fiction and philosophy. For better or worse, Luc Besson's Lucy is unlike any blockbuster you'll see this year. It's a Lisa Nesselson favourite. The French rite of passage drama Love at First Fight hits cinemas this week. And it won the Cannes Film Festival's top prize, the Palme d'Or, and has been likened to The Shining, retold by Chekhov. Winter Sleep is out. And for all that, I'm joined by our film critic Lisa Nesselson. Lisa, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Now, it's already taken 100 million euros worldwide. It's topped the French and North American box offices in release. It's been called ridiculous, highly watchable. Luc Besson's best since Leon. Tell us about Lucy.
Well, Lucy, played by Scarlett Johansson, is an American abroad who's probably just about motivated enough to make her way to the nearest club or the nearest Starbucks. But when she is accidentally exposed to an incredibly powerful designer drug, as so often happens, she becomes so intelligent that she would be fully capable of brokering peace in the Middle East and solving all human problems, from the Ebola virus to Ukraine to the skirmishes in, say, Ferguson, Missouri. But she doesn't do any of that because she's more intent on revenge, and the clock is ticking. And she also doesn't have, using 100% of your brain power, I think means you're not terribly polite. Let's take a look.
I need help. It's urgent.
You cannot be in here. We are operating. Please, get out.
You wouldn't have been able to save him anyway. Tumor already invaded the cortex on the right side of the spine. Somebody put a bag of drugs in me. I need you to remove it. It's leaking. Do it now.
Right. I'll just administer local anesthetic.
Don't bother.
Exciting stuff there, Lisa. Luc Besson spoke about his need to mix philosophical content with fun when making this movie. I think it would be fair to call you a Luc Besson non-fan. Did you like Lucy?
This was really a surprise for me, and it's proof that you shouldn't even begin to think about what you think about a movie until you've actually seen it. I have to say that, with a few exceptions early in his career, I find most of the films Mr. Besson has directed himself irritating. But here he just unabashedly pulls out the whole arsenal of filmmaking tricks, and it goes by so fast, and it's so gung-ho, and this time it works. I really enjoyed it, and I think Scarlett Johansson's a real plus.
There are quite a lot of things in the film that don't make sense, though, aren't there?
It's 89 minutes long. There are at least 89 things in it that don't make sense. But while you're watching it, it's remarkable. You don't care. It just intersects in ways that you're willing. It's a movie about using 100% of your brain that absolutely requires you to suspend your disbelief and check your brain at the door.
Give us an example, though, of one of the things that doesn't make sense.
Well, I wasn't the first to come up with this, but if you have the capacity to, if you're in possession of a drug that makes you so brilliant that you can do anything, including control people, remote control, just by thinking about it, why would you sell it to junkies? Why wouldn't you take it yourself and build an army of incredibly effective criminals who could rule the world?
Okay. Doesn't make much sense at all. We could do with a bit of it, probably. We're now to a French language film called Love at First Fight, or Les Combattants in French. Take a look.
Oh!
Je veux m'inscrire.
Qu'est-ce qui est fou avec mes tuiles, celle-là? C'est bizarre comment tu nages.
C'est rien de bizarre, c'est une nage de combat.
Une quoi?
Une nage de combat, laisse tomber.
Bah putain, si c'est ça les meufs cet été, merci et vive la France. Hein.
Tu penses que je suis folle?
So, Lisa, Love at First Fight, a coming-of-age film. Tell us more. I know you like this one.
I like this movie enormously. what to say. I have to say that clip, while it's pleasant enough, doesn't begin to convey the very odd tone of this movie, because sometimes it's very funny, sometimes it's deadly serious, and the director, this is a first film, has really managed to put all the elements together in a way where you're surprised. You don't know what's going to happen next.
So what actually, without giving too much away, what is happening in the film?
Well, it's boy meets girl or girl meets boy, and they say that opposites attract. These two people are from different planets. She's very severe. She thinks that quite possibly the apocalypse is on the way, and she wants to be, have a hard body and a strict mind and be able to cope with the coming disaster. And the boy is kind of more laissez-faire, more casual. She decides to prepare herself for the apocalypse by going on a training course for the French army. And so in order to be with her, he goes and does that too. And their adventures are just quirky and interesting and very, very appealing.
And the actress, especially Adèle Haenel, is one to watch?
Absolutely. She's been acting since she was a very young girl. She's grown up to be a very talented young woman, and she's quite compelling on screen. Here she's extremely gruff, but she's an oddball, but you absolutely believe that she's like this person. And I just wanted to point out that in France they make about 270 films a year. About a third of those are first films, and among those first films there's usually only 1 to 3 that sort of jump out at you. When I saw this, I said, we're going to be hearing from this guy, writer-director Thomas Caillet, and I say absolutely go see this.
Okay, thank you. Now to another film. It won the prestigious Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. It's a Turkish drama. I don't always like the Cannes winners. Is Winter Sleep one to watch?
Well, it's a very, very fine film by a very gifted director. It didn't grab me personally all that much, and I probably wouldn't recommend it wildly to most of my friends, but it is a very, very fine film. It's about a reasonably well-to-do Turkish gentleman, his much younger wife, his cranky sister, who are all spending the winter in the Anatolian village. You'll see how striking it is. It's sort of made up of residences and caves. He runs a hotel, and he's either a thoughtful, kind man or kind of an imperious jerk. Let's watch.
Yani çocuk o olayı şey yaptığı için orada yanlış bir harekette bulunmuş.
O yüzden Aydın Bey, şimdi siz bize biraz şey edebilirseniz, yani en azından şu tahliye davasını durdursalar.
Aslında iyi öğrenim görmüş, dürüst, adil bir insansın. Ancak yeri geldiğinde bu erdemlerinle insanı boğan, küçük düşüren, aşağılayan bir hava taşıyorsun.
Bütün mesele ne senin biliyor musun? Sen acı çekmemek için kendini kandırmayı tercih ediyorsun.
There we go, a clip from Winter Sleep. Now, it won one of the most prestigious prizes in film, the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. What makes it a prize winner then?
Well, this taught me a lesson about prizes, because I've been going to Cannes for many years, and I usually make a point of seeing all the films in the competition. Because I was on a jury myself this year, I only saw about half of the films. I hadn't seen this one until after it was declared the best movie in the festival. And I thought, hey, wait a minute. I mean, it's possible to go in with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder and say, show me what's so great about this. So as I said, it is a very, very fine film, and it's 3 hours and 16 minutes long, which shouldn't scare anybody off. But it's about information being doled out very gradually. And at first we think one thing about a character, and then we learn another little something. And it's about perhaps someone who doesn't want to know what he's really like. People talk a lot. I mean, it's a very, very talky film, and yet some of them are saying what they mean and some of them aren't.
What's interesting, though, is you and your husband had very different views on it.
Oh, no, now the whole world's going to know about this. Yes, well, I thought the patriarch was kind of a jerk and that his wife was eminently reasonable. And my husband said, no. I mean, she's borderline bitch, and the guy makes perfect sense. So there, too, I mean, any movie that gets frequent moviegoers seeing something different on the screen, I think is always worthwhile.
Okay, well, Cannes is France's most famous film festival by far, but there's another one that takes place in Normandy, a bit less glam, a bit more rainy, but there's always some great films. The lineup for the Deauville American Film Festival has just been announced. What are the highlights, Lisa?
Well, the top highlight is that this is their 40th anniversary. For many, many years, they were the only film festival on earth that deliberately showed only American movies. And it's grown to have a wonderful lineup, usually of documentaries. They show films that are going to be coming out eventually in France, but ahead of time. Woody Allen's new film is one of them. And then there's the competition. There are 14 films in the competition this year. A number of directors who have been to Deauville before, some who I actually haven't heard of. So there's nothing I like better than going into a movie I haven't heard anything about. And alas, they will be doing a tribute to the late Robin Williams, who came to Deauville twice. They had actually invited him for this year and not gotten an answer yet. But I was fortunate enough to be in the room in 1999 when he was at the press conference for a film called Jacob the Liar. And it was one of the most exciting live theater performances I ever experienced. I didn't talk about using 100% of your brain power. Robin Williams used 150%. You would hear 2 syllables of an impression and know who he was talking about. You would hear, he just strung thoughts together in a way that was absolutely magical, and my ribs hurt from laughing. And that doesn't usually happen in press conferences.
Oh, so sad, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining us. And that brings us to the end of this week's film show. We're going to leave you with the 3rd film in the series that trades on our affection for action stars of the past. The Expendables 3 has had its premiere in Paris. Enjoy. See you next time.
Okay. About time you boys showed up.
I guess each of them have a little bit of Expendables in them. You know, we do the movie for you. Thank you, we appreciate it. And it's this kind of enthusiasm that makes us want to do another one and another one.